This is a guide on how to make a deck in Clash Mini. As of recording this video, there are 37 minis and 11 euros in the game, so it might seem tough to try and build a new deck when ladder is dominated by meta decks. But I'm going to show you how to build strong decks that will help you easily push ladder. But before we begin, I'd just like to ask you guys to please consider liking and subscribing, because only 6% of you guys watching are actually subscribed, and I do post daily Clash Mini content, and I'm going to be doing some giveaways in the future. So without any other interruptions, let's get started. So as most of you know, in update 8, Clash Mini released a new feature called synergies. If you don't know yet, synergies give buffs to your units during battle. For example, if you have 2 clan units down, you will get plus 6 bonus HP, and if you have 4 down, you will get plus 10 bonus HP. Here are all the synergies in the game right now and what buffs they give. So you have to keep in mind the synergies and what works best with your deck when you are making a deck. So instead of making a deck with only 1 or 0 synergies, try making a deck with 2 or more. The next thing you need to keep in mind when making a deck is a different type of synergy. In my experience of playing Clash Royale and Clash of Clans, there are just some units or cards that work better with others. And this is true for Clash Mini as well, because there are units that work better with some units rather than others. So let's do a quick pop quiz. The new unit, the Chompy, has a passive ability that allows you to get an attack speed buff for every one of your allied units that die during battle. So, which one of the following units is going to work best with the Chompy? Is it going to be A, Skeleton Guard, B, Ice Wizard, or C, Witch? And the correct answer obviously is C. Okay, so moving on, let's start building your own deck. There are also different types of units. There are tanks, ranged units, support units, and surprise factors. It's usually the best idea to have a combination of these 4 troops in your deck, but it's not always necessary. There are some decks that do not use any tanks, because the hero is good enough to tank for the backline. Okay, so the first thing you need in your deck is a tank. This can include units like the Giant, the Barbarian King, the Shield Maiden, or the Skeleton King. This unit's main priority is to tank all the damage and keep the backline safe. The next thing you need in your deck is a ranged unit. This includes units like the Archer Queen and the Wizard. The main purpose of these units is to be kept alive as long as possible so they can deal a lot of damage. The next type of unit you need in your deck is not as important as the previous two, but they can still help you win a few games. Support units include the Battle Healer and the Villager. The main purpose of support units is to give a buff or provide healing to your units. And lastly, but definitely the most important part of any deck, surprise units. Now, surprise units include units like the Fisherman and the Prince. These units are supposed to be used to throw off your opponent's entire strategy, and they can easily help you win a game. Right now, there are 6 spots in each deck for you to place 1 hero and 5 other units. It does not matter if you use 2 of the same type of units in your deck. For example, this deck has 2 ranged units, 2 tanks, 1 surprise unit, and 1 support unit. Technically speaking, the Witch is also a support unit. And hopefully, thanks to these guidelines, you will be able to build your own homemade deck and hopefully destroy your opponent. But anyway, that is all for now. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.